Everyone's just going to assume someone died on the stream.
Honestly, if we had a heartbeat monitor. Welcome back to the coverage of YCS Bochum 2018, where we're now looking at the semi-finals. Before we talk about that, I just want to take you guys back to 2015. Back in the days, the YCS Bochum was one of the largest tournaments we've ever had in Europe. And the top 8, they were stacked with players that were winning stuff before that tournament. We had Billy Bragg, we had Joshua Schmidt, Marcelo Barberi was in the top 4 as well. And I can't remember, I think Eugen Heid was also in the top 4?
Yeah,
something like that.
Somebody like that.
So, it didn't matter who was winning this tournament, there was a 100% chance that everybody in the venue was like, I know this guy. He's won this and this before.
Of course he would win.
Ladies and gentle duelists, the names of the top 4 of YCS Bochum 2018. Argyris Evangelos, Markus Burtjen, Tayfun Bayraktar, and Marco Perico. We have 4 players who are making an impact at the largest European tournament of all time, and we've not really heard from them before. It gets even crazier than that. Our semi-final right now is going to be Zefra versus World Chalice. The other semi-final is True Draco versus Pendulum Magician, so that turned out to be pretty normal.
Yeah, pretty well a tale of two halves for these semi-finals. We have the decks that we were expecting to see on one half of the bracket, and the decks that none of us predicted right here on the other side.
No one
you would be ridiculed if you said, yeah, Zefra's going to win the whole thing.
The players that ended up in here, were surprised themselves. Some of them, at least. Marco Perico earlier said to one of the judges, I have no idea why I'm still in this tournament. However, he's now in the semi-finals.
Yeah, the one other, by the way, is Zefra.
Yes, the one other is Zefra, right. So this is one of the most diverse metagame breakdowns, quite the contrary to what we saw a couple of months back when we had 4 times the same deck in the top 4.
Yeah, the spirals.
We've been talking about these decks. You guys have seen Zefra. You have seen World Chalice, even though it's been a while.
Yeah.
It had, I think Thomas was the only World Chalice player we had this weekend. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And Thomas had a really good game 2 in his feature match. He won that convincingly. He got smashed in game 1 and game 3. So we were like, at least we saw what World Chalice can do in one game, even though it wasn't the entire match.
Yep.
This is going to be different. We're going to bring you the semi-finals of YCS Bochum, where World Chalice might be advancing to the finals. Let's take you there. So here on the left, Marco Perico from Italy. Tayfun Bayraktar from Germany. Zefra Zing. Second feature match in a row. He's getting used to this.
I've got a feeling that Thomas is probably sat outside with a little World Chalice flag, just like, yeah, go World Chalice!
You don't think he's mad about this, that he's not there?
Nah, Thomas.
He was very self-critical. He said, I made a couple of mistakes just because I wasn't used to the feature match.
Yeah, I think he's probably rather noble about the whole thing and is just happy about World Chalice.
All right, Mystical Shine Ball. Lee, the World Chalice Fairy. World Legacy, World Chalice, Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, and Kyoto Waterfront are the opening 5 for Marco Perico. He does not go first, however. Tayfun is going first with Zefra, Divine Strike, Dragon Shrine, Stellar Knight, Zefra, Xiton, Zefraxi, Treasure of the Yangtze, and Jiao Tu, Darkness.
And immediately we see a very strong play opened up by Tayfun, activating the Dragon Shrine, only to be immediately shut down by the Ash Blossom from Marco's hand. And play passes over with just 2 cards being set to the field.
Oh, this is great. The World Chalice player is playing something that Thomas didn't, which Matt and I played in our builds when we were playing World Chalice so long ago, Transmodify. You can actually transmodify a Shine Ball into...
I would be so scared right now if somebody just summons a Mystical Shine Ball. You're just like confused to no avail. You're like, what is happening?
Yeah, you can. He didn't in this case, but you can transmodify Shine Ball up into Venus, which is really powerful. To be honest, Lee, you can transmodify Lee into Venus, which is I think where he's probably going to go with this. He's going to normal summon Lee. Okay, maybe World Legacy. He's definitely going to use transmodify at some point.
Not yet.
Yeah, so there we see Lee now.
He's
the counters are just ticking up on that Kyoto Waterfront.
Looking at 2 right now. We had a situation earlier this weekend where both players would have been left with a kaiju on the field, and they both could have used those counters, 5 of them, in that particular scenario.
It turns out, by the way, that kaijus do actually, well, specifically Garmasil, does actually say you can negate any effect apart from Garmasil. So you can't have two Garmasils negate each other. Never ever come up before, but that may have come up in that game.
So, in playtesting.
Somebody
in the Konami office, oh, this is no fun if I have 5 counters on my Garmasil and you have your own Garmasil.
Yeah.
So we have to do something about that.
Here's Aram.
Right, so 4 counters now. I still haven't seen that Transmodify, Luke.
Oh, just wait. Just you wait. It's going to be pretty hype when it happens.
Coming soon to a duel near you.
Transmodify.
Yeah,
yeah, watch, wait for it. This Lee is going to turn into something.
We actually did a TV spot this weekend. I feel like you guys should have been in it. After that little display.
In a world full of world chalice monsters.
I also
spell card.
I also actually want to say sorry to Christopher Nielsen. He told me that in 2015 at YCS Rimini, I told him that if he keeps winning, we're going to feature him. I didn't specify that it was at that event. So he went up to me this weekend and he said, you told me back then in 2015 that if I keep winning, you're going to get me a feature match. I won a couple of rounds this weekend. I'm in the top 32 now. It was a really good strategy, I have to say. It was a really good strategy.
Yeah.
He still didn't get his feature match just because we always had another feature match that was completely crazy in terms of what decks we saw.
Yeah. Yeah. God Dragon. And revive. Second.
So at this point, do you still owe a feature match to Christopher?
Yeah, I think that's
he just needs to keep winning.
That's a question. Exactly. That is the perfect response. He just needs to keep winning. I do have to say I feel a bit bad about this.
Yeah.
In the next event, where he's not playing the most popular deck, I guarantee him a feature match as long as he is, let's say, like 3-1 or better. 4-1, 5-1, all of that is fine. If he's like still in competition for day 2, gotta get a feature match. If he just comes up to me and reminds me that he has to keep winning. Speaking of keeping...
Didn't he transmodify? He would have transmodified Lee right there, in fact.
Yeah. Nobody believes that.
Oh, come on.
So, Marco Perico, with his World Chalice deck, takes the first game. Wow, World Chalice is actually a real deck.
Matt, please, if you are watching, back me up here. He was going to transmodify at some point, right?
No, he wasn't. He was holding back just for you. I'm pretty certain that he can hear you on the headphones, and he's like, I can do this without Transmodify.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it was. It was purely spite.
Just so Luke is getting salty, yeah. I mean, maybe it's also him like taking revenge of sorts. Yesterday, my pizza order was done in the same way. I only ordered pizza Hawaii, which is with pineapple, to scare off all of our Italian judges, so nobody would eat my pizza. That worked pretty well. Now the Italian is like, okay, I'm going to show you guys. Yeah. This is how we do it. We don't even need Transmodify to win duels.
The Transmodify, just the pineapple on the pizza at that point.
Pretty much, yeah. He must have thought that. That must have been his theory there.
Even the guys in chat are now berating me about this Transmodify. They're like, oh yeah, it's useless.
I would like to encourage them. They are correct in their assumption that you are wrong.
Come on, Marco.
Is that a rescue ferret at the front of the deck there for Marco?
Yes, he is playing rescue ferret.
It's a card we haven't really seen much of.
Ever.
Yeah.
Okay, we did talk about the side deck of the Young Zing deck in last round's feature match. We didn't really talk about the side deck of the World Chalice deck.
Even the rest of the deck, Marco is playing some really interesting things. He's playing Ava from the new Wave of Light structure deck.
A card that is really hard to find in our app.
Yeah, and and also Herald of Orange Light. He's also playing that. Rescue Ferret, also kind of weird. One of my favorite things he's playing Jinzo in the side deck.
Oh my god. We were talking about Jinzo yesterday after we saw all of those super old cards, after we saw things like Regeki, Monster Reborn, stuff like that. I was like, we're going to see all the classics this weekend, including Jinzo.
Yeah, also Christia. So Jinzo and Christia, great targets for Sarayuya. Assuming, he's definitely playing Sarayuya. He's playing 2, in fact.
Oh my.
So he's playing 2 Sarayuyas.
I see the overextension on the wall already.
Well, we know that Sarayuya can be a great card and a terrible card. He's got 1 for each.
Yeah, we've been shown that this weekend. He's in his side deck. He's playing Mind Control, Anti-Spell Fragrance, Evenly Matched, Mask of Restriction. I think this is Mask of Restrict. There's nothing following there. Raigeki, Arclord Christia, as you mentioned, Shinzo, and Abyss Dweller. Interesting, Abyss Dweller in the side deck, but no space in his extra deck because he needed those 2 copies of Saryu. Okay, second game. This time it's going to be Tayfun going first.
Still with 34 minutes left on the round. That first game didn't take long at all.
Yeah, blazed.
Yeah,
through that.
Give credit where credit is due to Tayfun, who shuffled up very early.
Deja vu?
Tayfun starting again with the Dragon Shrine, but this time no Ash Blossom in Marco's hand, so we'll get to see some more of these plays coming up behind it.
Yeah, actually no interaction whatsoever in Marco's hand with Twin Twisters, Agent of Creation, Venus, World Legacy, World Chalice, Lee, and Beckoned by the World Chalice. I love that I'm getting paid by word when I'm doing the translations. And you have these card names.
Okay, he can't, of course, activate that second copy of Dragon Shrine in his hand. There's a hard once per turn clause on the effect.
Yeah, we've seen that earlier, that he won his match in the top 8 with Disruption and not with like super big monsters or anything. This time he doesn't really have any disruption. There's a
this is huge.
Twin Twister, really big, really big.
Yeah,
I think this might be the shortest top 4 match we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, he's got an orange light just in case he's going to get ashed at any point. He can just play Herald of Orange Light and be completely fine.
Oh my god, this is crazy. This is completely crazy. Look at World Chalice exploding here. Is this a real deck?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Look at him.
Do you know how rapidly Thomas is waving this World Chalice flag outside right now? It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, there's probably a Tayfun outside from him waving so much.
Yes, in fact, there is.
And very soon there might be 2 Tayfuns outside.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll see Sarayuya here. Yep, here we go. So Sarayuya plus the multiple summons from the material used.
So Ash Blossom not even being used to try and negate the effect. Or was there no draw effect because 2 Shine Balls?
Yeah, I think maybe 2 Shine Balls actually.
Yeah, so it was 2. It was.
So that was just the special summon effect from the Sarayuya.
Yep. Maybe we're still resolving World Legacy World Chalice. It's hard to say. Yeah, I think actually, yeah, we were just resolving World Legacy World Chalice.
Okay. Yes, of course, it's impossible to use 2 Shine Balls. The materials all have to be different names. It's just a matter of how many total.
Yeah. Wow.
That is looking good indeed.
I'm in shock here again.
So
that's the first time this weekend that we've seen a Twin Twister hitting anything of like importance.
And 2 things.
In the semi-finals. So, but Marco, he's like very cool and collected here. Cool as a cucumber.
The Ash Blossom comes down here, but as
there's
you said,
a negation.
Herald of Orange Light.
And that is the win for Italy. Marco Perico with World Chalice in just 10 short minutes advances to the finals of YCS Bochum 2018.
I have no idea what to say.
That was like a short movie. Let's talk about it in our post-match analysis. Yeah, going into this, we said World Chalice is not a deck. We've only glimpsed at what it can do earlier when Thomas Tuvilio, one of our resident judges, was playing with it. He did okay with it. He didn't do amazing with it.
Yeah.
But Marco, this is really his tournament so far, with his World Chalice deck now in the finals of the largest European Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament of all time.
Yeah.
Who could have thought that?
Yeah, I'm in shock.
But everything was falling into place.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There's no denying it that he got some pretty amazing hands there, and Tayfun, the absolute opposite.
Yeah, he had his moments earlier.
Yeah,
in the semi, sorry, not in the semifinals, in the top 8, for example.
Yeah, but still, he made the moves when he needed to make the moves and didn't make any mistakes.
Yeah, but super interesting. You see 2 face downs so far. Half of this weekend, this was really good because you have no more than 1 negation.
Yeah.
But then the Twin Twisters is just completely turning things around and opening the door for World Chalice to really come at full speed ahead.
Yeah, in the top 8, we saw Tayfun showing us what the Zefra deck is able to do.
Yeah.
But here, the sad story of a double brick and no such fate for Marco on the other side.
Yeah.
World Chalice really coming through twice in a row through little opposition, it has to be said, but the deck was showing exactly what it can do.
Yeah, credit where credit is due, though. He had that orange light. This was a pure deck building decision that allowed him to win this game.
Yeah.
Because that hand trap would have stopped him from continuing there. But the orange light really made
it's one of those
made the difference.
It's one of those cards that sometimes you really do not want to draw into it, like in a top decking situation where the next card is going to make all the difference. But if you have like you have a bit of a field and you just need that one extra backup, and this is basically what happened here. You couldn't get better than that. You are happy to drop 2 cards if it means I win the game.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what the cost is if you're going to win the game. He's essentially playing a better themed version of Gamma. That's exactly what it is. If he can play that in this deck, then why not?
Right. It doesn't have any requirement, like you don't have to have any monsters.
No monsters. That's a key. Yeah, that's a key difference there. I think. Yeah.
And we saw him
really
like
strong.
He needs to get those combos off, and he did. And in the end, that was enough for his 2-0 victory. So Marco Perico is the first finalist of the weekend. The second finalist is currently being found in the match between Argyris Evangelos from Greece, who's playing True Draco, and who's going up against Markus Burtjen from Germany.
Yeah, we may even be able to bring them on.
With Pendulum Magician.
If we're quick enough.
If we're quick enough. Having said that, we're going to look forward to that final. We're going to get ready for the final. We're going to take a quick break, see if we maybe can move them in. I'm not sure if the judges will let us because last round's switcheroo did nothing for the advancement of the clock.
I'll do a Luke Flash moment and go and try and find out.
All right, we're going to try that. And in the meantime, we might be able to get our interview with one of our competitors in the finals, Marco Perico. So guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back for you with more coverage from YCS Bochum 2018.